I found a way to turn your vlogs from looking like everyone else's to looking like homemade videos that you used to film back when you were a kid. Let me start off by saying I am not a professional colorist, and I'm also brand new to DaVinci Resolve. I've actually just started using it this year strictly coming from Premiere. So I'm about 5 months in, and I'm not professional by any means. I'm still learning the basics, but I feel like I have a good gist of how to get around, right? So when Dehancer reached out to me to do this video, I was a little bit hesitant because I'm still learning how to color grade, right? That's why I switched over to DaVinci. But I thought this would be a good opportunity to kind of explain it to you from a beginner level perspective. So maybe you were kind of in the same level as I am with DaVinci, still kind of getting around it. This is going to be the perfect video for you, so that way, you know, it won't look as intimidating, because at first I was like, oh man, I don't know, it's gonna be good. But after playing with it with some time, it's definitely something that you can pick up at any level. Let me just go ahead and walk you through what Dehancer is. Basically, it's a film emulation. It will turn your modern day camera footage and basically make them look like homemade videos, right? That's how I look at it. And that was very intriguing to me because that vintage filmic look has made a huge comeback, and for a good reason, because nostalgia is really big right now. You know, as you can see, WWE wrestling, if you're wrestling fans, it's become very popular again. I think people are just, you know, I've read that people are going back to their flip phones now, right? So a lot of people are just trying to, you know, circle back into that nostalgic feeling, and I think Dehancer is the perfect tool to bring that back with your videos, right? Especially for vlogs, because, you know, I do have a Sony Handycam, like those old school Handycam cameras that my mom gave me when I was super young, right? Back in the 90s. And while I do love that look and I love how easy it is to use, it really does take you back to the older days when you used to bring a camera around and just film.
So you guys see that hole? Yes. And then the two heads? Yes. It's called the kissing camel. Oh.
While I did love that, it had its limitations, and the biggest one was probably the audio, right? You can only go so long with bad audio. That's just something that the older cameras can't really provide, right? So the intrigue for me with Dehancer is turning your modern day camera into an old school camera while still maintaining the modern day features. So I did love that aspect. So I kind of took upon myself to use the Dehancer features on a vlog that I recently made, and I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to use Dehancer because I wanted to give that home video look to this video. You know, I want to bring back home videos and not necessarily not just vlogs, right? So if you actually look, my video that I posted recently, if you look at all the b-roll in that vlog, which is the San Francisco vlog, all the b-roll was edited using Dehancer. So let me just go and show you kind of the process of how it all goes, right? And like I said, this is going to be from a very basic level of understanding of coloring and using DaVinci. So if you just come right here, this is the look that I was able to achieve with Dehancer. This is the look that I like. This is what feels good to me. I just like that nostalgic kind of, you know, home video, grainy, grungy type of look. But yeah, let me go and walk you through how I was able to achieve this. So what I did was, let me just go ahead and start from scratch, right? So let's go over to the color tab, and let me turn this off. Here, let me actually just delete everything and start from scratch, which we are. Okay, perfect. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna open up a node. Okay, and once you have Dehancer downloaded, you're just gonna go down and choose Dehancer, which will be right here, Dehancer Pro. Drag it on, and you're done. Just kidding. So as you can see, this looks like trash. So what you're gonna do now is go to your source and just go here, choose camera. And then you're just gonna choose whatever camera you're using. They have pretty much all the camera brands that you can think of here. So if you're worried about your camera not being here, don't worry, you're covered. For me, I shot everything with the Sony ZV-E1, so that's what I'm going to choose. And I shot everything in S-Log 5 Gamma 3 Cine. So that's what I'm going to choose here. Okay. And it still looks like crap, right? So you still have to do some editing. Let's go and turn this off. So this is basically your starting point, right? This is where you can make all your adjustments. You can adjust the exposure, the temperature, all within Dehancer. So let's go ahead and fix this image a little bit. So what I would do is from here, I would go to the film developer. And this is where you can really add that color, because right now, while it does look old and nostalgic, that color is still not there. But before that, let me go back. Let's go to the film profile. So this is actually where the magic is going to happen. So this is where you can select your different film profiles, different cameras, camera looks. I'm not a photographer, so don't hate me if I don't know exactly how to explain all these different cameras. But what I did was I just selected each kind of look and just see what felt best to me. And as you can see, nothing is changing as I'm clicking. And the reason for that is you have to make sure you click this button, enabled. And make sure you do that with everything, because that's something that kind of set me back a little bit. I was like, oh, I'm messing with something, but it's not doing anything. It's probably not enabled. So make sure you check that. So you're going to go here to profile and just, go down the line unless you really know what you want, and just see what feels good as a good starting point for you. For me, I gravitated towards the Kodak Portra 160 VC. I really like this look. It's just something that felt good for me. So I'm going to start with that. And then from here, you're going to go to film developer. And this is where kind of made this photo come to life. While I do like that old nostalgic feeling with this photo, it just doesn't look, as colorful as I'd like. And this is the section where you can bring color into the photo, or into the video, sorry. And basically what I did was enable this, right? And I would just add color boost. Boom. Life. And right away, you can see what Dehancer can do for your image. So on, off, on, off. Let me just bring it bigger. Boom. Boom. Cool. And then you can obviously just play. I just played with the sliders and just went along and just see what felt good to me, right? So I won't walk you through every single section, but I'll just walk you through the sections that I used. So film developer is one of them. The next one will be film compression. Let's go ahead and enable it to see what it does for us. Let me see if we can make this bigger. Let's fit this up. Okay. And what I really like about Dehancer is, what I used to do before to achieve a similar look is I would get film screen overlays, let's say like a grainy overlay or a TV screen overlay, and just throw it on top of my footage and lower down the opacity. Now, while I did like the look of that, the problem was you didn't really have that much control over it. You didn't have that much control over the grain, the color, how it, kind of looked with the footage. So with Dehancer, you have all the control. So let me just show you some of the control that you could have using Dehancer. So let me go show you this. So print is actually one of the things that you can use to kind of really control the image for yourself. So I would just, go down the line and see what I like the best. for me, I like the Kodak 2383 print film look. I think the highlights are just a little bit too blown out. So what I'm gonna do is just kind of adjust that a little bit, bring down the exposure a tad. Okay. And just kind of play with it, honestly. And I love it because, coming from Adobe Premiere, I didn't really have that kind of desire to play with the colors because, I just felt like it was good enough, and I just played with the basic tab. So, which is what I pretty much used my whole career, right? And while I did love that, once I switched over to DaVinci, man, it was like a whole new world, just going into almost like a coloring book, feeling like a kid again. This section I didn't really play with too much, the color head, but as you can see, you can really dial down, your look. So make sure this is enabled so you could see what it's doing. I like blue skies. As you can see, it's going to tone down the highlights a little bit. Oh, I don't know about that. Let's see. Okay. After. Okay. I like that a little bit. I'm gonna leave it. So right here, film grain. This is where you can adjust obviously the film grain, right? So if you click down here, you have a number of options of profiles, and you can adjust. Something go zoom in closer. You could adjust the amount of film grain to your image. So this is the big difference from using a screen overlay to using a program like Dehancer. You can really dial in that look, right? So here you got the 720p HD or 1080p flat screen TV look right here with the grain. And then you're gonna go back to the 90s with the big old tube TVs with the bad signal look. Boom. I do not like that. So I'm going to just a little bit. It's going to give a little bit of that grain. Just to whatever feels right to me. Boom. I'm liking that one. Halation. So this is where you can adjust the halation. As you can see, it gives it a little bit of a bloom look in the sky. So this is after, before, after, before. I'm gonna leave it off for this video. Film damage. Let's turn it on. To be honest, it kind of looks like the other film grain, but like I said, I'm just a month into using this, so I'm not really too familiar with every single setting that's on here. I just went ahead with what felt best, and I don't want to mess with it too much. I still wanted to keep it authentic, so I'm not going to walk you through every single one of these settings. But yeah, let me go down. So this is actually one that I did want to show you, is the overscan. So there's some videos where I do actually want to get that, that film strip look, that Super 35 look. And like I said, I used to just get an overlay and just kind of fit the video. With this, you can actually enable it and have it built into your actual image. So I thought that was super cool. So you can actually adjust everything, and it's all built in, and you can choose what kind of filmic look you want. Oh, sorry, that's the gate weave overscan. Okay. So you can go from widescreen. Let me just go through all of them because I think these are really cool effects that you can add to your films to just give them that vintage look. Super 35, widescreen. Boom. I'm not going to use it for this one, but let me just show you the ways you can adjust it so you can actually adjust the look exactly how you want it to be. You know, before I would have to, you know, adjust the image and then just adjust the overlay, but with this one, you can really just have fun. I'm not going to use it for this image. You're going to go down here. As you can see, there's just a number of ways you can customize your image. And honestly, all you need is just this one node. Maybe if you want, what I would do is I would add another node and just maybe adjust the temperature, the over temperature of the video. But you can really just do your whole coloring if you want that filmic look in Dehancer. And then the last one I'm going to show you is this LUT. So you can actually generate your own LUT using the settings and profiles that you chose in Dehancer. But yeah, let me just show you a before and after. So obviously this is going to look a lot better than your log footage, which I have right here. Sorry. So that's okay, cool. So let me go and show you the before and after. So let me just copy this clip. Obviously this is going to look better than your log footage, right? So what I'm going to do is show you the before and after from log footage. So this is the log. This is Dehancer. And let me actually show you what it looks like using just a regular Rec 709. So let me go ahead and disable. This is my Dehancer track. And this is the log footage, right? So let me show you. This is something I just threw on a regular Rec 709, not too much color grading, just your normal conversion LUT. So this is what that looks like, and it looks really clean. Like, I like the look of it. I like how the Sony ZV-E1 captures this, these images. Let me just go and play it. Nothing wrong with it, right? But I wanted to kind of get that home video look. So, when I add that Dehancer look, let me go in and turn this off. Turn this on. Oh, sorry. So this is what it looked like. This is our setting that we made. So right away, you can see, let me just delete this. Let me delete this. So this is the Dehancer look, and this is the normal look. So let me actually show you the Dehancer settings that I dialed in myself before this video. I really had the time to kind of like play with it. So it's not gonna be this one. So this is the normal look from the Sony ZV-E1. And then here is the Dehancer look that I was able to play with that made it to the video right here. So as you can see, it just gives you that retro, vintage, kind of nostalgic look to your video, without it being cheesy or overdone. I edited everything through Dehancer. And then just as a comparison, here's the Rec 709 look. I'm gonna go on full screen that for you guys. Like I said, it doesn't look bad. Obviously I could color it a little bit more. I just wanted to do something quick to show you. And here's the Dehancer. Now, you might not like that look, and that's okay. Fight me, I love it. So I think there is no right or wrong with art, and you can fight me if you disagree. But art is just basically what feels good to you, and this look feels good to me, especially with a video like this. And I think it's gonna really make my vlogs and just regular footage that much better. So with all of that, I really feel like Dehancer is going to improve my videos and give me that look that I've always been searching for. And a cool thing about Dehancer is they actually just released an app. You can use the photos on your phone and edit them with Dehancer along with the videos. So I think that's a really cool new app that they have. I've used different film emulation apps like RNI. I have a Ricoh GR3, and I was able to take those photos and throw it in Dehancer, and I actually use the photo that I edited with Dehancer and use that as my thumbnail for my previous video. So if you want to take a look at what it looks like, go check that out. But yeah, overall, I love this software. I've been seeing it around YouTube, and if you want more detailed videos going more in depth about it, feel free to go look. I'm sure there's a lot more that go more into depth, but I wanted to kind of just share with you from a beginner to novice level user of how you can use Dehancer. It's not that scary. You can play with it. You can get a hang of it. It doesn't take that long. I've been using it for a month, and I feel like I have a decent level of knowledge of how to use it and get that look that I want. So if this is something that you're interested in using yourself, I do have a discount code on the description below. Just go ahead and use that. It'll give you 10% off and will cost nothing more to you. So thank you for watching this video, and yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.